Hello guys, Yig here, and today I wanted to do something a little different than the usual FPSs I do. I wanted to show you this game, Lumini. I got a early access code. Yep, we'll overwrite. I got an early access code for this a few days ago, and I played a few hours of it to see how it was and how I enjoyed it. The details and the backgrounds are very, very, very good looking. The game itself is kind of a exploration, chill game. There's no real narrative to it other than the world changing as you progress through it, and towards the end of the game, it really opens up and kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. But in the beginning of the game, you're just kind of progressing through. So there's some really neat features that I wanted to talk about. Now, it's going to be on Steam on September 3rd. If you're seeing this after September 3rd, it's already there. And it should be priced around €10, £8, $13 US. So it's fairly affordable too. They're going to have a collector's copy with art book and some other things that are... It'll be a little bit more, but it's not too bad. Now, this is a Lumini. And you can see me flying around. And it's got some really interesting mechanics. And Lumini, obviously, as you can see, is sort of speaking for luminosity. So you'll notice we have a switch there. So what we want to do is come back over here after we've got that. Now we have a couple more Lumini. Now we're going to go over here. Oop, hold on. Gotta get our little guy here. And this is one of the neat features here. Okay, so you have that second joystick, and you can fly a group of them over there. Now, once they're all together, again, you can go back to collecting. And there's a lot of puzzles and stuff in the game of that sort, where you have to separate and do things, and with the different Lumini. And there's some really neat features to it. Now, you'll notice all of my Lumini at the moment are blue. Now, there's a couple of different types of Lumini, and I'll kind of give you an idea of how each of the basic ones works, and what kind of things that you're doing to get them too, because that's actually an important focus of the game. You get to play the game how you want to play it. So if you play it fighting some of the creatures you encounter versus running away from them, you'll get one type of Lumini, red. And if you play a very peaceful game and just run from things and avoid the monsters, you'll get these purplish blue Lumini. Now, I thought that was kind of a neat way for them to show that, to let the game adapt to the style you're playing. Now, there's another type of Lumini who's yellow. See, here's like a bad guy. And if I just run away from him, I will get more blue Lumini. And you have the trigger button here, which they have not given me yet through the tutorials. And that allows you to... You can stun them with the purple ones, and the red ones actually damage them. Now there's a yellow one too, and his abilities are kind of different from both of the other guys. Now see, here's one of the types of puzzles, and some of these puzzles are actually kind of challenging for a person who doesn't play a lot of twin-stick shooters like myself, because you'll be doing things like doing those circles in different places, opening those gates, in far, far different areas of the map. And so you see, we'll take off with our little guy here. Now, if you look down here, this was an area where there's a crystal, and the crystal has... It has, like, concept art and things like that, shows you the different Lumini and that you can get and things like that. Now, initially, when you first encounter some of the more aggressive monsters, they'll actually play a warning sound, and hopefully we'll get to one of those during this playthrough. Or, well, not so much playthrough as a first look. We'll call it a first look. Now, you do want to collect as much of the luminosity as you can. I don't know if they have a different name for that. I didn't get that information from them. As I said, the game does adapt to the way you play, so I'm going to get a bunch of blue Lumini here. And you can dash with them. And it has a small recharge time, and that's how they get away from the more aggressive creatures. And some of the other ones... Okay, see, like that? Is on a little bit of a timer, and you'll see he flashes there. And as soon as he flashes, that's ready again. So, you kind of go through here, you're collecting the Lumini. I kind of hate to not know what it's called, but I'm guessing Lumini. As you're going through here, you'll notice, as I get more of each kind, they're upgrading slightly. Now, I've got some purple Lumini, but I haven't actually found a way to control the purple Lumini, which... It's not the worst thing in the world, but it would be nice if it did. So here's some monsters. Now you can stun these with the trigger there. Now, because I've stunned him, I've now done aggressive action. So since I did an aggressive action, there's a very good likelihood that my next Lumini, or possibly more than one Lumini, will be of the red variety, and the red variety doesn't stun, but they actually damage and can knock out or even kill the enemy creatures you're finding there. There are things hidden around the map. There's... Yeah, see, this is one for me where I'm not a big twin-stick shooter guy, so moving both of my thumbs in the exact same pattern, well, you can see me being klutz over here. Usually if I can get one going, and I do mean one going, then I can usually get the other one going. And I just messed it up again. So you get to see me embarrass myself on the puzzle, because I am not great at puzzles. Arrgh! Okay, let's switch those two, because for some reason I think I'm going to be more comfortable that way. Yes, for some unknown reason I would be more comfortable with the right stick on the top and the left stick on the bottom, I guess. Just because of the placement of the sticks on the controller, probably. So, it's something to think about. So we're going to stun this guy. We're going to stun a couple guys. We're going to play a little bit aggressively, because you saw in the beginning we got all the blue Lumini for that. And this... that also destroys these little plant barriers. Now, the plant barriers... loves to tell me about them. Now, a lot of the tooltip or hints like that are kind of tied to a location rather than an incident of you seeing them. So sometimes if you backtrack or do things like that, you'll see the same hints again. And usually when you load up your new game, so far, this is a beta copy, so a lot of this stuff will be changed. So we're going to get rid of that. And you notice that knocked him kind of silly. And that's what keeps him from being able to attack. Again, we're going to get a lot of red Lumini because we're doing that. And I want to show you that function. The yellow Lumini have the power to, instead of doing either... Now, here's an aggressive creature. So we're going to go around him, though, because I don't want to deal with him. And you'll see those guys in multiple locations. Now, you hear that drum beat. That drum beat actually eventually kind of goes away. And you don't really have that warning anymore, so you just have to pay attention. But as you go through, the actual world structure will start to change. So, and with the world structure changing, and there's another one, like I said, of the crystals, and you'll notice they're all crystals like that. And I'll jump out of the game here in just a moment and show you those. A little bit of their artwork, not too much, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some really beautiful landscapes in here. They did an amazing job on the visuals and everything else. The control scheme works really well when you get the red Lumini, but if you really do, when it says it recommends a controller, you really do need to play this with a controller, because it plays okay with that one, but it's a lot harder to control. And some of the elements where I'm normally, PC, mouse and keyboard type gamer. Oh, and, yep, see if we just... Poor little purple guy got. So we're going to get down here, and when you see this stuff, it's You can dodge it, and again, I could have dashed through there, and it would have been smarter of me to do so. Like I said, I just want to show you kind of through this first little area what's going on, and we're going to dash here. Because, oh, don't dash into the red stuff, though, of course. And I look like a complete klutz while doing it. So, you cruise around, you do that stuff. Occasionally, you'll find hidden areas. The other type of Lumini that you'll commonly find are yellow, and those are given to you by... You'll find yellow, what I can only call bushes. Bushes with yellow growth on them, that would be the best way to say it. And those bushes will allow you to spawn yellow Lumini. The yellow Lumini, instead of stunning or having a dash like so, we're going to wait till we're recharged, and then we're going to go up here and avoid that guy. Now, the yellow Lumini, they have kind of a different mechanic. They're, instead of being able to do a dash or an attack or anything like that, the yellow Lumini actually have the ability to sort of suck in the luminosity to their area, and that makes them really handy if you're playing a more peaceful route. And we should get some red Lumini here. Now, one of the nice things is, you'll notice this kind of shows an Xbox controller. On the Xbox controller, you'll notice it changes. See, he's got his little thing there, and that's his damage. You can swap between the Lumini, and the button colors on the Xbox controller actually correspond to the colors of the Lumini. So when you get the yellow Lumini, he's up on the yellow button. You get the red, the blue, and you get all those. Now, I'm going to jump out into the menus, and I will show you a little bit of the artwork, so you can see that. And like I said, there's an art book and soundtrack available, and the soundtrack is it's kind of a really relaxing game to play through. And the soundtrack does a good job of highlighting that. Now, let's jump out of here and to the main menu, and we'll look at the... I'd show you the options, but there's not many options, and there's not really the necessity for a lot of options in a game like this. So in extras, you'll get a little bit of concept art. For example, you know, this... It's kind of hard to see what all the things on that one, but like this one shows the Lumini themselves. Here's the blue ones. Here's the creatures we just encountered. Another creature, the other two creatures we've encountered. I'd go a little farther, but then it gets spoilery again, and we don't want to do that. And then models. You can actually view the models for each of the Lumini, and right now I've got these unlocked. And this is the different stages. So you start off as you get the regular Lumini, which are the purple ones. Then you get the blue at the first stage, and the second stage, and the third stage, and they get their powers upgraded as you go. And so, as you explore and do these things, you get to kind of play the game in the style you want to play it, and you can relax. From what the developers told me, it takes about 3 to 4 hours per playthrough. There's a hard mode. The game is really designed to just kind of chill out and relax and play and just kind of have a mellow time. So, I hope you guys liked it. I enjoyed the game. I've played through it a couple times. Like I said, I didn't want to go too far in any direction because I don't want to spoil things for you if you do get it. But the game is very fun, and I would say it's really a solid buy at that price. It's a good indie game, and I don't think you'll regret the purchase. So, I want to thank you all for watching, and have a great day, everyone, and I hope I'll see you here again.